We are going to talk about a really important topic, which is your mouth. So, Ben, you are a biological dentist.
Correct.
Okay, so first of all, what the heck is that?
I know, right? I get that question all the time because it's not that common.
Mhm.
People know about cosmetic dentistry and, all kinds of general dentistry and specialists out there. But with biological dentistry, it's something that I kind of evolved to over time. And it's very much like the biohack world, where we're looking at is how to get healthier from within and achieve longevity, not just with your teeth, but overall. And as a holistic or biological dentist, we look at the whole body because we don't think any level of health is achieved by focusing on one part of the body, whether it's the mouth or the arm. Especially the mouth is a big part of your health, more than a lot of times people really realize. So we focus on connecting those two, the mouth and the body, and also being very cautious of what materials or treatments we use. So there's a lot of toxicity out there, as we know, in the world, but in the dental world, it's huge as far as root canals or metals and mercury and a lot of toxicity that actually is introduced in the body.
Through
So
your dentistry. So
through your
when you go to
dentistry.
the dentist, it's toxic?
Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
I already know that, but I'm going to feign surprise.
Yeah.
So tell us more.
Well, there's depending on what materials are used. Obviously everyone here knows now that mercury fillings are bad. They wouldn't even call them mercury, even though they're more than 50% mercury. They would call them silver fillings because it sounds much nicer. Silver, it's jewelry, but really, it's number one number one thing ingredient in there is actually mercury, which is a neurotoxin, and so we're focused on not only, obviously, we don't place it, of course, or any kind of metal. We don't use metals at all because the metals, disrupt the body so much. But we focus on removing them safely in actually a certified technique process, so that you're not exposed to more mercury during the process of the removal of the mercury. So that's one of the big things that we do in our
Okay.
office.
Okay. How many people have fillings, mercury fillings out there?
Well,
Is it very
it's
like super common
oh
or
yeah, oh
yeah?
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, here in LA, I think people are more conscious of this, but as a nationwide, it is still probably the most common filling that you're going to find in people's mouths. And people come in on a daily basis with a whole mouth full of mercury. And if they've been educated, they're coming to us specifically to remove them safely.
Yeah.
Other times, we're educating them about the toxicity of it and how important it is to clean out the mercury filling and afterwards clean out your system because there's a residual, as Dr. Pompa likes to talk about, of mercury that leaches in your tissues and your organs and stays there. So you have to get it cleaned out properly so that you're healthy.
Okay, okay. So something else that Dr. Pompa talks about is this canary in the coal mine. He talks about the thyroid as a signal that there's a lot of other stuff going on. So if you have hypothyroidism, that the buck doesn't stop there. That's just the sort of alert that there's other things. I'm going out on a limb here, but what I experience in my own body is that my gums are like this too. So if I'm out of balance, if I'm not doing well, I notice that I start to feel more inflammation. Inflammation shows up in my gums.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm partly using this for my own use. I want to consult with you. What is the relationship? What's happening with our gums? Let's talk about gums for a minute.
Well, gums and gum disease are a big part of overall health. Actually, that's one of the things that we treat. That's a systemic issue. It's not actually an oral issue. You find the signs in the mouth,
Yeah.
but it's a systemic issue.
Yeah.
Because when you're having inflammation in your gums, well, obviously it's all connected. So there is inflammation happening in your whole body. And in fact, if you have gum disease, for example, these inflammatory markers are getting spread through your whole body, and it's strongly linked to other health conditions. So if you
It's
are
not
not,
just flossing.
no, flossing is not the solution only. It helps at times,
Yeah.
but a true health, solution has to be full encompassing, and you have to. That's why we're very big on your overall health and seeing what is happening, not only in your mouth with the microbiome, which is important for your gums in your mouth, but how that affects your gut bacteria and everything else that's happening, and vice versa, how they affect each other. So all that relationship is key.
Okay, let's talk about the mouth, the microbiome in the mouth, because I think a lot of people know about gut health, and a fewer number of people know about the microbiome in the mouth. And even those like me who do understand that there's a microbiome in the mouth may still have a lot of room to learn. So, what's the most sort of what's going on here with the microbiome in the mouth, and what's the thing for all of us that we should know?
Well, I'm really happy that the gut bacteria is becoming a very big topic of health. Because we realize not only because of your what happens in your gut, but even depression and psychiatric issues, and serotonin is mainly made there. And so we're realizing that. But what we don't realize, like you're saying, is that the oral microbiome is actually the second, that with along with the skin, is about the second biggest volume of good bacteria in your body. So your gut is number one, but the second biggest volume is in your mouth. So if you don't address that, you're really missing the boat. So having a good oral bacteria microflora not only helps you not to get cavities and gum disease and gum inflammation and other things that are happening, signs and symptoms in your mouth, but actually there's a cascade of it that if you have a balanced oral microbiome, it actually results in a better balance in your gut, and of course on your skin and in other areas of your body, that there's a big large volume of good bacteria that we love, that are there for us and take care of us.
Amazing. Okay, so there are good bacteria in your mouth. I mean, people spend a lot of time trying to scrub away everything in the mouth. I mean, and what I notice personally is like if I meet somebody who's using a lot of Listerine and a lot of just like Florida, like just all of these chemical laden, I can. They don't seem they seem the opposite of fresh breath to me. So let's talk about some of the things that we're using that are detrimental, that we think are good. But
unfortunately, the industry, just like our pharmaceutical industry and the food industry, is there to make money. And it's a multi-billion-dollar industry with mouthwashes and toothpaste out there, and they really are not helping. In fact, they're hurting because they're detergents, really. They're detergents to kill bacteria. In fact, I did a video on it for our social media not long ago, and it says it right on there. It says kills 99% of bacteria. Kills 99% of bacteria.
Which we think is good, but that's actually a horrible idea.
I mean, the whole hand sanitizer thing was just a disaster.
I am anti-hand sanitizer.
Yes, thank you. And that's my message. I did a video on that one too, actually, one time.
Oh thank you.
Seriously. Yeah. We did a funny one on that one. And then but the truth is, it's there, you're killing off the good bacteria, and we have more actually bacteria cells in our body than actually human cells. So these bacteria we live with a symbiotic relationship, and these detergents that are used to clean, like if you're cleaning a floor, you're not cleaning your mouth. You shouldn't be cleaning your mouth. That is totally false. It's just propaganda that's there to sell products. That's all it's for, and it's garbage. And it's there to just, you think you're doing the right thing, and it's feeding off the good intentions of people trying to do the right thing.
Right. It's ridiculous.
We're all lost, trying to find out what to do, what to eat, and how do I take care of myself better. And unfortunately, if you just look and watch from what's on TV as your guidance, you're going the wrong way. And you have to do your research, and you have to look up. And one of the things I feel like we learned from COVID is that if you just follow, you're going to be led the wrong way. And people have to actually think on their own and research and find out and find doctors that are maybe thinking like you are, and actually are aligned with your mentality, and not just following themselves, whatever CDC says and FDA says and all these health organizations that are there for your health that are not.
That's right. I have a personal mantra, which is say no. I have to say no to get to the yes, because I used to just think of myself as a yes person, and in my personal and professional life, and as a mother and everywhere, this is a terrible idea to be a yes person. What I have found is that a series of no's are what get me to the yes. And I think that this is true, I think, emotionally and relationally. I think it's also true in our choices for consumer products and how we're addressing our health. So before we can get to all the yeses, we really do have to address the nos. And there's a lot of resistance to no in general, I think, for a lot of us. So, oh, no Listerine and no this and no that and like no mercury fillings. Oh boy, that feels like a long, cumbersome list of things that I just have to say no to. But so first there's a list of no's, and you've given us a few of those, and I know you have a ton more resources, and people can find you and get more of those no's. Um, Tell us about, once we take care of that, once we take care of the no's, tell us about the yes. What are we moving towards? What are we getting to? What are the yeses for a healthy mouth?
Well, like that's why I love being at biohack expos, because you're around your people. Everyone that is looking to go to the next level of health, and really, and it's like you're speaking to everyone that is thinking the same. And what we're all preaching is that health comes from within. And what you say yes to is what feels right. Number one, you have to listen to your body and not listen to outside of you. There's a lot of chatter out there constantly. And if you're just following and listening and just saying yes to everything, it doesn't work. So number one thing I would say is you have to start getting in tune to yourself, in tune to your body, and you'll be guided. I'm a big believer in that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It is. It's real.
Yes.
It's real.
And then if you start diving deep inside, the answers will come. And number one is, you have to align yourself with, practitioners that are like-minded, because you can't solve everything on your own. And you have to find, as far as dentistry goes, I highly recommend finding a biological dentist that is like-minded.
Definitely.
And then, because you do need guidance, and it's not like we can just do everything on our own. But, the key thing for me is, getting to health is getting toxicity out, number one. Because again, the body's wonderful, the body's great, and has this supreme intelligence, but we're constantly toxicity is just coming from every angle.
So there's a lot of no's. We have to get the toxins, like as few toxins. Well, how do we get the toxins out? Let's talk about what are the day-to-day things that people can do that they should be saying yes to,
Yes.
right? That like it's the yes and the do.
Number one, as far as biological dentistry goes, what we want to do is get a cone beam CT scan. That's one of the things that I would say yes to.
Can you say that again?
A cone beam CT scan.
A cone beam CT scan. Okay, great.
This is a 3D scan of your jaw, where we can actually find toxicity that does not show up visually or with regular x-rays. So obviously we know, again, mercury fillings are bad, but when we do a cone beam CT scan, and this is something that we include on every exam that we do in our office because it's a must. We can't do an exam without it. When we do this exam, what we can see now is if there is root canals that are leaking, if there's cavitations in your jaw, whereas it is impossible not to see these things without it. So, and then we're getting to the root cause of these cancers and heart disease and all these other health issues and dementias and all these things. A lot of times the root cause is coming from your mouth. So
I love this. It's making me think, how like we can go back and look, archaeologically, we dig up, or we excavate human bones and the teeth are still there. And so I love, like you're saying, go deep into what's going on there, get those x-rays and know, like,
well, the cone beam CT scan is the next level. I mean, it makes a big difference. We've been doing it for quite a while. So I would say yes to that. Obviously, everyday healthy living, and healthy mindset, and and being around like-minded people and good energy. Those are the things that, again, feel right. Listening to your body. When you're around wonderful things, wonderful people, everything just resonates and you feel better.
And this helps your mouth.
And it helps your mouth. I mean, it's a proven fact.
Okay,
when you're aligned, everything gets better.
This is fantastic. Okay, and what else?
Well, it's a never-ending journey. And just like how, as a practice, we've evolved over the years tremendously. I used to be a cosmetic dentist. and all I did was cosmetic dentistry, and then evolved to implant dentistry, and then evolved to airway. We started learning more about sleep apnea, and we got a diplomat in sleep medicine, and realizing how much that impacts people's lives and health issues that people are medicated for and not being actually treated for the root cause of. And then, of course, it evolved to this biological dentistry that we are right now. And for me, what I say yes to every day is growth, and that's one of the reasons I'm here. I'm here at this seminar to grow, because I get to meet wonderful people and learn from them. And so I say yes to growth. I say yes to learning from people and being around wonderful people. And that's my everyday. I'm lucky enough to practice what I love and be around wonderful people and learn from my patients too.
Yeah, wonderful, wonderful. Um, I have one more practical question for you.
Perfect.
I have a practical question. So I heard this thing recently that felt right, and I just started saying it to my kids, and to not brush your teeth right first thing in the morning, to give your body time to wake up and drink water and let the create some feedback loop. Is this accurate?
I love it.
Okay.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Okay.
There is
but
no.
It's not scientifically proven. This isn't a thing. I don't know where I even forget where I heard this. Somebody said this to me, and we don't even have to cover this on the thing, but I did hear this. Is this accurate? Is there any validity to it?
I haven't seen any, heard, or any research articles on this actually.
Right. Okay.
But I'm all for it, because if you think about it,
yeah,
at that very moment, your body's not lacking a toothbrush. Your body's dehydrated. You haven't had any water for a long time.
Right.
And you have to address the number one need of the body at that moment.
Yeah.
And if you just listen for a second, you're like, oh, I'm thirsty.
Yeah.
So it's actually, there's nothing wrong with that. We don't have to wake up and just go and start brushing our teeth right away.
Yeah.
So I think you're a great mom.
Oh, thanks. We won't include that one. I thought, well, maybe if this is something, then it could be then people can pick up on it as a thing. Is there anything else that you would like for to talk about or to share?
Well, I would like to talk about, let's say, obviously, I'm hoping that the future of medicine is not where we are right now, because with the current model, we're living in the land of opportunity, where we have everything in the United States, and we have every level of medical care possible, but we're the unhealthiest people in the world. Yeah. And it's because of big pharma and big medicine and a big food and big industry, all these industries that are crippling our society with what's the toxicity constantly at every angle. So, and unfortunately, they have a grip over the medical industry. So what I'm hoping, my why we're doing this, why we're building a new facility, is to bring in the medical and dental all in under one roof and change the industry. That's our goal. Our goal is to make a change to make people healthier from within, and get people healthier from mind, body, and soul, and get this country to a much better place. But first, immediate.
Yes,
that's our goal.
That is the ultimate goal.